The process of creating software is known as coding. This is how games and other programs like Word and Photoshop are created for computers. Frisco High School junior Brianna Royer has started an after-school workshop called FrisCode, dedicated to teaching elementary school students how to code.
I hope to increase the amount of kids interested in coding and STEM classes so that by the time they get to middle school, they are signing up for those classes.
The workshops have been very successful. This past semester, students met in Mr. Kaufman's classroom after school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This gave them the opportunity to work at a level that is not available in elementary school.
I learned that you can make different things, not just games and websites. You can create painters and stuff. And I learned that you can locate your sprites and pictures using the X and Y axis.
I didn't know that you can make really big games, and you can make websites, and you can make robots, you can program them, and a bunch of other really cool things that you can do.
I've learned how to use different code blocks and the different ways to use them. I've been able to create movies to where I would just create up a story, and then I would make a summary page, then I would move on, then I would make them saying speeches.
The kids look forward to every meeting.
I really like it because you don't really get the opportunity to do this kind of stuff now, even though where the computers are. I do love to create, and I love to show and tell.
Teachers are really fun in these camps, and they help me make better games.
Probably seeing friends and meeting new friends, and probably playing on the computer.
Brianna began this weekly workshop to fulfill a demand that she felt needed to be met.
When I was in elementary school and middle school, I didn't have any opportunities to enter the coding world. So by the time I got to high school, my schedule was already booked with other classes. I really wish I had taken a coding course, but of course I would have had to know about it sooner. So that's why I am introducing these kids to coding, so that if they want to join, they can.
I think Brianna putting together that program is great. I mean, you can't teach kids too early the benefits of coding, given the fact that how intertwined it is with modern life. They're going to be doing coding or interacting with programs for their whole future, and a lot of them hopefully will go into programming. So this provides them that early exposure to it that sets them up for success in the future.
The FrisCode classes have been completed for the semester, but will resume in the fall. If you have younger family members that may be interested in learning more about coding, please let them know about the FrisCode program. It has been a big success, and Brianna expects to see it grow in the fall. For Racc TV, I am Arnav Nair.
English 4 students recently went out to eat at the Wobbly Hog, an exclusive cafe at the FHS library. They enjoyed a book tasting and sampled a variety of different books for their upcoming Lit Circle project.
For the book tasting, we want the students to be able to have a good taste, or a good sampling of all the different novels that they might be reading during their Lit Circle time. We want to give them an opportunity to look at different things that they wouldn't normally look at, and maybe they'll find something they weren't interested in before.
This was a unique way for students to preview the choice of books on the senior reading list.
Our goal is that they'll be able to enjoy having their samples of the books in a different environment, so that they're not just sitting in the same class setting that they're used to and kind of distracted by just the normalcy of where they are. But here in the library, it makes it a little bit more intimate, and they get to enjoy the books while they're reading them.
In the short term, we want the students to be able to experience the 5 novels that they have to select from to do their independent reading for our last unit. But in the long run, we were hoping that the students would get the idea that it can be fun to relax, enjoy a book.
The students enjoyed the opportunity to express their opinion on their next assignment.
Usually when I come to the library, I just look at the cover, and if it's cool or not, I have a tendency of picking it. But here we actually got to sit down, read a couple pages from it.
I enjoyed how the teachers pretended like it was a restaurant and how they were serving us the books. There was also snacks in the library, which is exciting. So my favorite book out of all of them was Fahrenheit 451 because I thought that the plot was the most interesting compared to all the other ones.
I think it was called The Brave New World. I saw the cover. I was like a robot dude with a robot head. I think that looks pretty cool and looks newer.
One of the biggest concerns that students have about the books they read is the lack of choice and interest. The book tasting event turned out to be a big success because it allowed students more input in choosing the books they will be reading. Now that students are a part of the process, maybe they will get more out of it. For Racc TV, I'm Jenna Fink.
The Special Olympics are usually held at Memorial Stadium every year. This year, FHS was fortunate enough to win many of the competitions. The Olympics were filled with students, teachers, and parents who were there to cheer on our athletes.
Honestly, it's just a good time getting to see the kids doing what they love.
I like the smile that it puts on their face, so then it puts a smile on my face.
I just really like seeing all these kids excel in what they've been working so hard on. We've been practicing this in Partners PE for a very long time, so it's good to see like all the hard work pay off. Yeah, Frisky approves.
Special Olympics is my most favorite day of the entire year because it is a day when our special needs students feel like every other student in our building. They get to go to a send-off, they get to come participate, they get to have their peers cheering them on. It is an incredibly important day for us.
Our student athletes looked forward to competing against the other schools.
We're here with Joy. Joy, what events are you running today?
I'm doing the 100-meter dash running and the softball throw.
Are you going to win them all?
Yes.
Can I get a high five?
Running and long jump.
And what do you enjoy most about today?
The nice weather.
So, Catherine, what do you like about being here today?
I like seeing all the happy faces after they've won their medals from running.
And Grace, what events are you running today?
Running. Good job.
Are you going to win?
Yeah.
Yeah. High five. Woo! Hi, we're here with Winter. And Winter, what events are you running today?
50-meter dash and run in long jump.
And are you going to win today?
Yes.
High five.
Our Special Olympics coaches had just as much fun as the athletes.
Just to see these kids out here doing their thing because they're all unique in their own way and they're all superstars. So just to see them out here having fun, I love the whole thing. It's my favorite thing in the year.
My favorite part of the Special Olympics is when the kids get their awards. They're so happy to have their medals and to see the joy on their face and to see how absolutely wonderful this event is to them. That's really the important part of the day.
The athletes had a great time competing with their peers and bringing home the gold. It won't be long until we start training for next year. If you'd like to know what it's like to experience a real win, see Miss Newberry about joining Best Buddies next year. For Racc TV, I'm Jada McDougall.
To become a United States citizen, the federal government requires that applicants pass the citizenship test. It is a test made up of our country's history, laws, and geography that all high school students should know. This is information that most of us should have learned in primary school. Could you pass the citizenship test? How many members are in the House of Representatives?
Like 100.
Who wrote the Declaration of Independence?
Thomas Jefferson.
What is the name of our national anthem?
Star Spangled Banner.
How many Supreme Court justices are there?
13.
In what month do we vote for president?
I don't know, December.
How many amendments do we have?
Well, I haven't taken Gov yet, but I believe that we have I want to say like 23.
How many amendments are there?
13.
Who's next in line to be president after the vice president?
I don't know. Who's the current Speaker of the House?
Paul Ryan.
How many Supreme Court justices do we have?
12.
What ocean is on the east coast of the country?
Were some of us never taught this information, or did some of us just forget? In order to be an informed citizen of the United States, it is very important to be familiar with the basic fundamentals of our country. How would you do on this test? For Racc TV, I'm Michael Vasiliev.
Many things get lost over time, but how can an entire maritime civilization just simply disappear? If you haven't already guessed what I'm talking about, it's Atlantis, the once advanced and thriving civilization. It was believed that it was lost when it submerged underneath shifting tectonic plates in the Mediterranean Sea just past the Strait of Gibraltar. What do you think? Do you know where Atlantis is located?
Atlantis is located between Africa and Spain in the Straits of Gibraltar.
Do you know where Atlantis is?
In the Atlantic Ocean.
Narnia? No. The Strait of Gibraltar, is that what it is?
Come again. What happened to the mythical civilization of Atlantis?
Well, the Captain Nemo from Treasure Island. There was a big storm, and the ocean and it got flooded and it sank to the bottom of the ocean, and now it's captured by, it's like surrounded by bubbles and mermaids living there.
What do you mean by that? What happened to the mythical civilization of Atlantis?
Wasn't there like an earthquake or something and it like submerged into like water, right?
Which philosopher wrote about his visit to Atlantis?
I don't know about all that jib-jab.
Which philosopher wrote about his visit to Atlantis?
Plato.
Who is the main character in Disney's Atlantis, The Lost Empire?
Brett Favre.
Who is the main character in Disney's Atlantis, The Lost Empire?
Me.
Robert Ballard, the ocean explorer who discovered the wreckage of the Titanic in 1985, believes that there is a logical argument to be made that Atlantis existed some 3,000 years ago off the coast of Greece. Much like the abrupt destruction of Pompeii as a result of the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, some scientists believe Atlantis shared the same fate. Whether Atlantis was ever real or a myth remains a mystery. For Racc TV, I'm Zach Pitts.
Good morning, fellow raccoons, and welcome to the Weekend Weather Watch. I'm Jack Mayo.
And I'm Sunny Side Up.
Speaking of the weather,
Friday will be partly cloudy with a high of 84 and low of 70.
Saturday will be thunderstormy with a high of 79 and a low of 50.
And Sunday will be cloudy with a high of 62 and low of 46.
Today, our FHS varsity baseball team has their big game against Wakeland High School at Smotherman Field at 4:30.
Also today, our FHS softball team has a game against Little Elm at Jerry Cotton at 7.
Tonight, make sure you make it out to the percussion concert that's here in the auditorium at 6 o'clock.
And Saturday, our jazz band participates in the Denton Arts and Jazz Fest.
Congratulations to all of our raccoons who compete in the regional track meet tomorrow at UT Arlington.
And for our CCTV, I'm Sunny Side Up.
I think you're sick, that's what you are. And I'm Jack Mayo.
It's cold outside.